On the latest episode of Boxpod, I was caught because I literally talked about this shit. I'm like, don't overshare with the person you're shagging. Like...
Shagging.
Yeah,
shagging.
like...
But now,
together.
shagging is fine. But if this is someone that you're building
You
something...
see
You're still shagging forever. Come on.
Okay,
Right?
shagging, you let them know what's in your M-PESA.
No. You're in the basics.
Why?
Sina
If you shag for a
ukimwi,
year,
sina
then you can let
STD,
them
we're
know.
alright.
Why am I letting you know? Yes. Like a fun fact, the other day I was going through some footage in the studio and just looking at, I found this old hard drive and found footage of Nyashinsky's first time performing Now You Know, and it's so crazy because he's like, I've got this new song. It's brand new. We've just recorded it. I hope you like it.
And that was a banger. Like, that is why.
And then there's like,
Just
there's just
cameras.
CCTV everywhere.
Everywhere.
Right? So, except in the toilet. Yeah. But
But in the bathrooms.
in the bathrooms, yes.
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
But they're like censored-ish.
No.
No, Usiku,
for real?
Usiku, there was no censoring.
There was
So
a
you'd
channel.
see us, you'd see us.
There was a channel people used to pay for this poverty.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like it's
So
crazy.
people just... Wait.
Yeah, like you pay. So I think
There
it
was
was
channel 198.
and then
KWAMBOX. That was my
another
show,
one.
man.
199.
So you pay and then you see people naked?
Yeah, now you can see the shower
on
hour and
DSTV you
all
could
those
pay.
things that
Is
they
that
don't
legal?
show you. Now, yo, so you'd be easy fast.
So when we were there, Mwass made a call. I don't know who he called, but this person was like, yeah, KWAMBOX in Jamaica left. Hey. He got all the info, and the minute that thing went press, he cornered me. So many listen to, hey, if she's left, by the way, it's sad, but
KWAMBOX is KWAMBOX.
sasa, see, you get what I mean? If that's what she's decided, then it's all right. Then flip. You're still on a show, kidogo Kerry amekuja sijui nani yako wapi? I'm like, okay.
So now what do you want to tell your audience?
Over 26.
This is
This is the Brunch Club.
Over 26.
The mics are cool.
Now, when you watch it, you'll understand.
What up, my name is Chaxy, the mastermind, your man guy, the Lord Chaxy, the brief from Mariah is around. The
Bobbin.
is around. The whole gang is around. Episode 167. We're Mac Check. Kapoow is in the building. KWAMBOX!
Yeah!
KWAMBOX is surprised I have
Honestly.
energy.
Just like, what is over
But the
here?
one time you were just like this.
Just like, what is happening over here?
You have the same reaction Matrax had. You know, Matrax is so
Yeah,
chill.
yeah.
Scared.
Wait, did you say Matrax is so chill?
No, not like...
But this is what you came to do here.
Also, he was stoned as fuck.
Yeah, that's the
chill.
difference.
Yeah.
Chill. Yeah.
How have you been?
Me, I've been alright. You know, first things first, mic check 1, 2, is this thing working?
You got things
No, for real. You know, let me tell you, there's a day, I think it was like 3 weeks ago or 4. And someone sent me a link and they were like, yo, Connie, what's going on? And then I watch your podcast.
Oh, Lord.
Discussing CG things I've quit, CG, what.
Yeah.
Hey guys, you have to
No,
wait for
I
that.
will just go to the limb and say,
Start.
Mwafrika ndio alinianza. But then that's where it started from. So the day I was going to do Ikonini, that's the same day, I think Mwalimu had signed the contract that she was joining Radio Africa. So when we were there, Mwaff made a call. I don't know who he called, but this person was like, yeah, KWAMBOX in Jamaica left. Hey. He got all the info, and the minute that thing went press, he cornered me. So many listen to, hey, if she's left, by the way, it's sad, but
KWAMBOX is KWAMBOX.
sasa, see, you get what I mean? If that's what she's decided, then it's all right. Then flip. You're still on a show, kidogo Kerry amekuja sijui nani yako wapi? I'm like, okay.
So now what do you want to tell your audience?
Again.
Clear the air.
Again.
Hebu pigia Mwafrika.
Again. No, ITN anasugua
shida ya
viatu
Waafrika
kwa
ndio hii
uso. Mimi sikusema kitu. It is all Mwafrika. All I said was, if that's the move KWAMBOX has made, sasa sinivo, what can we do?
It's true.
Yeah.
Some do.
Now, where the rumor came from Ikonini?
Basically, it came from Mwaf. And his source.
Did you actually quit? Did you quit and go back?
No, am I at Kiss?
Yes.
Yeah, of course you are.
Do I have a co-host?
Yes.
Hey.
So easy stories zimetoka hapa. Iko nini?
Iko nini?
You're answering questions like a politician.
Literally. You know what it is. Yo, first, guys told me I have to come to this podcast so that we can crack jokes. Ebu changamka.
For real?
Yeah.
I've slept 3 hours.
Yeah, that's
So I have
none of my
90%.
business. You knew on period, you knew I was coming, start cracking
Exactly.
jokes.
Yeah, don't
Nilikuwa nimeandika kwa joke book.
But aside from that, like if I didn't like you, hey, ningewararua.
For real?
Oh, really? Like on air, am I here?
No, everywhere.
Oh, Lord.
No, but it's not my style. No, it's because I like you guys.
Yeah,
but thank you for your rumors, right?
It helps.
No,
It helps.
at least they know now not to believe rumors.
True.
But yeah, I really like your podcast.
Thank you.
Shout out to you. And
Thank you.
you're one of those few who are super consistent. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'd come. Not, baby, to shout out to everybody else who's invited me to their podcast. I've just started podcast number 1.
You're on a podcast
Yeah.
tour.
In no particular order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we've recorded, just kidding. Kitambo, remember I came to your house.
Oh, yeah.
That's a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Bro, have you been
Just
podcasting?
kidding.
I've been podding for a while, yeah.
That's insane.
That's how long ago? 7 years ago?
2017 to 2018. That's
Do you know how
old.
long I've known this guy?
How old?
Hey,
Yeah,
bro.
we'll get into it.
let me just break the ice here. So,
Amesema
I don't
hii
know.
podcast yake sasa.
I think it was like 2016 or some shit like
15
that.
actually.
15, yeah. He was in uni and I was at Homeboyz and I was doing industry
Industry night.
And there was this kid who was just like, how can I help you? How can I help you? And I'm just, and he'd show up and kidogo, I'm just like, all right,
Do what you gotta.
just do stuff. And before you knew it, you knew he was like super organized and he was doing things. So I'm not surprised that he's doing this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you
Usilie.
too much.
Ukinishikilia macho.
And he had a rap crew. What was your crew called? The
Rap
guys from-
crew.
No, the guys from, he wasn't in the crew, but
Yeah.
I think he was like
Jumbo.
managing them or something.
Thika. Django, De Niro. Yeah.
You used to have a
What is it
rap
called?
crew?
The guy was called CMG. 54 CMG.
yeah.
Bro.
You had a rap crew? I'm finding out now.
Do you know him?
I do, because I met him in
You need to go to
17.
my SoundCloud.
I don't think I know him anymore.
So let me remind you how I met you.
Tusi hapa Mwafrika na rap group yake.
No, I wasn't rapping.
Okay.
I wasn't rapping.
Okay.
So I'd won airtime for Class in the Sun. So I remember we had to come collect at Baricho. But I came past 5. So I think they had left. So uko chini, Corinne was walking in to prep for the jump off. So you guys were almost, I think the last like 10-15 minutes of your show, Ignition. So banter with Corinne, she's like, oh, you're Chaxy from online, because I was very active online and Homeboyz is all I used to listen to. So she invited us to come do the show with her randomly. So when we walked in, you guys were finishing your show. Then Kim said hi, Nini, we spoke kidogo. Then did the jump off with Corinne. Then a few weeks later, Jeff Morton and Mike Washira, I don't know where they'd gone. So you're doing the show alone. So I tweet you. I'm like, yo, can I come co-host with you tomorrow if this niggas? Because you're complaining the whole time. Yo, and you responded and said yes. The next day I was in studio with you.
There we go.
Wow, Tuma.
There we go.
Jifinye, go there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure Breeder is proud of me right now. Another day I'll tell you how I met Breeder.
Tell us.
That is today. That time is now.
Industry night. Like, honestly, it was all industry night. Actually, I think it was the last class that I ever did. Because industry night I'd also do, the business of music, just try to help artists understand social media, branding, packaging, all that stuff. And actually, the last class had Mandy, Breeder. I'm really proud of that class because both of them just went, hit the ground running. So every time I hear a song, I'm just like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Or the tenor.
Yeah. So let me see. Let's talk about the industry night now that we're here. Then we go back to radio.
Let's do that.
One shout out to you, bro. First Thursday of every month. Because I remember, I think when I started helping with industry night, this was Galileo now.
Yeah.
First Thursday of every month. I've never seen Kenyan creatives in one space like they used to come at industry night. Everyone.
Yeah.
I remember the night when, what's the name of Moses Kuria came? Do you remember when Moses Kuria came?
You know...
In a jersey and then was just giving out money.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, it was... And that was the idea, fun fact, after Big Brother, I went to... I traveled across Africa which is what you're supposed to do with your 20s. By the way, if you're like that person who's just sitting in one place, ati unajua hakuna gava, hakuna makazi. My guy, tembea, panda bus, ingia TZ, UG, find out what's going on. You know, there's lots of opportunities on the continent. Anyway, so I traveled and I settled for Nigeria. I like Nigeria. I think it's big, it's vibrant, you know, people are, you know, always hustling. And I got into the entertainment scene and there was an industry night going on there. That's where I got the concept. And every Wednesday, we would gather at Oriental Hotel and you would see WizKid, you'd see Davido, you'd see, like guys are just, you know,
Actors,
and
vibing.
everybody is just here because people are dropping new music and that's how. And well, I know now the industry has become much, much bigger and it's those seeds that were planted, right? So, and you'd hang out and people, the industry is here. And I was like, Kenya doesn't have anything like this. So I came back and, you know, talked to a few people and they're just like, you know, hii kitu haiwezi fanyika Kenya maze, unajua, sijui nini. I'm just like, sawa. Fastest way to not do anything is to listen to advice from people. So I just got started. I mean, you have to buy my book to understand just how many losses I went through doing industry night
There's a book
over
in
the
wax?
years. Yeah, I'm watching.
Nice.
Nice. Okay.
It was a mess. Like I remember the first gig it was at Kani and I was so excited we were gonna have everybody there. And then the person who was supposed to provide the sound stage just decided. Yeah, they just disappeared. And this was like at 11 in the morning. We're doing setup. The event starts at 6. And I was just sitting in the field in Kani just crying. I didn't know anything. I've invited, and I've put my money, I've put my reputation, I've put everything on the line. And then now I'm just like, shit, what am I going to do? And Kani inside, there was another event, so I had to do it outside, right? I couldn't change the venue. I couldn't cancel. Like,
on the day of the event.
as I'm sitting there crying, this old guy came to me and he's like, what's wrong? And I told him, and he told me, stand up. And he took me to the field there and there was this dome which was set up. There was an event the previous night and he said, will this work?
Damn.
And I said, yeah. And I said, okay, stop crying.
Oh.
And there.
Who's the old man? Do you remember him?
He was a manager at
Carnivore.
Carnivore.
Yeah.
Actually, I do need to go back there and thank him.
Yeah.
Because he and that, for me, that is one of the reasons why, and numerous, where you never give up, because especially when you're doing something that's bigger than you, you never give up because, you know, I'm not doing this for me. Excuse me, universe. Can you get organized? Figure this out. I'm here doing my part, right? Yeah. So every time I'd lose out, I'd just be like, it's okay. It'll pay off. Yeah. Artists insulting me, you know, how can you not pay me? I'm just like, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for you.
Then sasa kandushia hiyo ngori ya kutoka na
Uweze.
Uliuliza, what can I do to help?
Akijileta. How can I help? Tulikuwa na kihia. So ndio hiyo sasa.
Let me ask, at this point when all this is happening and things are not looking up, did you have a support system around you?
No. Okay, let me be honest.
sigara.
You know,
Galileo huko nyuma.
Mbona kumake hizo jokes your time?
actually, that time I was really smoking.
It's true,
I don't smoke
Nilikuwa na-
now.
Congrats.
I was smoking like crazy, like, you know, because it was like, you know, first you're dealing with artists, and then you're dealing with the you know, just
Logistics,
everything, right? And believe me, when you're doing something that is bigger than you, you have to convince people, and that's the toughest part, right? So until people see the vision, you're constantly, it's your thing. You get industry night, your KWAMBOX. By the time you have people like Moses Kuria coming and dishing out cash, that's when you realize that people really want you gravitate toward what's your own. And that's even like for Nigeria. It's not like they were born. Nigeria wasn't born like fucking with Nigerian music. No. I mean, there was a time Nigerians who sounded like Kenyans sounding like Americans. You know, and they moved from that to Two-Face, to slowly to Oguna, you know, Dibanj to, and it was constant support. And every time I'd get on that mic, I'd tell guys, look, you see now I'm bembelezing you. Don't worry. There's a kid right now in a bedroom trying to fix a beat and a sound will come. And I remember vindication for me was when Gengetone, I remember hearing, was it that Akina Ethic?
Lambalolo.
Bruh. That's why I was stunting on that music. Because I was just like, I told you guys. I told y'all niggas. You know? Yeah, so, yeah.
Can we talk about some of the legendary nights at Industry Night? Especially during that period when I was there. There were some crazy nights.
Yeah.
For instance, K-South. That's the first time I've seen Bamboo and the Bass on one stage.
Together.
I've never seen them.
them
And I'm
again.
sure
Never
maybe I'll
again.
never ever see them again.
You just might.
Yeah.
Where?
Okay, because Bamboo is a pastor now, but maybe a bus.
But both of
together.
them, I'm
No, but of
saying.
course not together.
That one, forget about it. That
It's
one,
never
that's
happened,
done.
Bro,
Yeah.
that happened at Industry Night.
Yeah.
Do you know how starstruck I was?
Yeah.
We know.
Necessary Noise.
Necessary Noise. That was a
Back,
big
right?
night.
We had, what's this guy's name? Sahim Nafilaje.
Chihuahua.
Right?
Ooh, I
Do you
forgot
remember
to-
Chihuahua's
I remember
story?
Chihuahua night. Oh my
Chihuahua
gosh.
was literally working at a call center.
Yeah.
He was joboing, and you see, and it saddened me. Like, this is a guy who had like, there's no Kenyan artist at that, or Kenyan who didn't know he's like a young person who loved Kenyan music, who didn't know his music. But the guy was like working in a call center, night shift.
Crazy.
Right? Because he had to, and so I had to convince him, like, bro, listen. He's like, I'm not gonna make money, and I'm like, look, I'll pay you, right? Come through, perform, and I think he left there with like 200K cash. Wow. People
Give him money, bro. The whole
Right?
industry was there, bro.
And
Everyone.
after that, he now got back into okay, I think that gave him the morale to be like,
Yeah,
all right,
to
let's
keep
do this.
pushing.
Yeah. And so many others. A fun fact, the other day I was going through some footage in the studio and just looking I found this old hard drive and found footage of Nyashinsky's first time performing Now You Know, and it's so crazy because he's like, I've got this new song. It's brand new. We've just recorded it. I hope you like it.
That was a banger. Like, that is wild.
That was the first time people were hearing that. And I think Mungu Peke. Yeah, it was Mungu Peke actually. He was dropping there for the first time. It was his first performance when he got back. And so many other firsts. Like, so many firsts. Cancel their first performance as cancel.
Yeah.
They would come drop new music. I remember when STL had just landed and she had done... was it Biashara, the
Biashara,
remix?
yeah.
Right? And then she had done some they had just come from the studio because it was Wednesday night. They would easily just record a song. You spent time in the studio and then you call and say, hey, can I pass by and perform this song we've just recorded?
Yeah.
Even
and say,
Diego.
yes,
the
let's
first
do
day
it.
dropped, literally.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are the things. Fun fact, this year is Industry Night's 10th anniversary. Yeah. And we're actually doing something. So,
Yay.
yeah.
Do you know when?
If Motif will allow us.
Motif.
Motif to dawn?
Motif to do it. Yeah.
Why?
We're trying to do it. We want to celebrate Abanton, but I think he's got Abanton in his pocket.
I agree.
He's gatekeeping.
I don't want to make this like we had such a heated conversation, and I think it's just it's a difference of creative opinion. It's nothing personal. It's just creative opinion, and I'm sure if he sees this, he can see that I'm not coming through with hate. I'm just saying we want to celebrate. I mean, we're going to do the walk back of all the things that we have seen in the past 10 years, but we want to celebrate Urban Tone because I think this is a culmination of all the work that we've been doing.
Yeah.
And at the moment, this is the sound we want to celebrate. I don't think he's happy about that. I think he wants to do Urban Tone by himself, which is okay.
But
wouldn't
what's
this
the problem
help?
with him doing whatever he wants to do and you doing whatever you want to
I
do?
mean, from his words, he says Gengeton died, I think because of too many cooks. I don't understand that logic. And he says he's launched something and he wants to do it
By himself.
No, he said he wants to do it properly, right? They want to involve producer. Because he asked me, no, in your Industry Night, are you planning to put producers? And I'm just like,
For why?
I never seen a producer on stage.
Please.
Right? Like, to be honest, like, we can celebrate you.
Yeah.
And you remember Industry Night.
Yeah.
Like, we've celebrated Issa. We've celebrated so
Everybody.
many people, right? And to a point, we respect the artist, the family, if the person is posthumous, right? To celebrate the producers, I think is a bit of a stretch because we're a performance platform, right? If he wants to celebrate producers in his own way, I mean, he's allowed. Nobody's stopping him.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Especially in with the creative economy in the digital space. Like, it's supposed to be open. That's why it's accessible to
Dude,
everybody.
I had a conversation with Ajib and
Retro House?
She's called
Mario.
Mario, yeah. And they had to allegedly sign something with Motive.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
But theirs was even urban tone with the U, urban.
bro,
Yeah.
listen, I could even say urban tone in French.
And not sign something with Motive.
No, I'm not. Why?
That's what I mean. Why?
You know, I asked this question, right? Take a walk with me. Imagine if Coldplay one day just writes a letter to Kenya and says, no more rock night. Right?
Oh.
Imagine if Akina, I'm a piano artist from South Africa, wrote a letter to Joe Mushiri saying, yo, you need to stop taking
that
I'm a piano across the
fest.
country.
True.
Right? If reggae artists woke up and wrote to guys and said they don't want any more reggae night in
nights.
Kenya. Like, what the fuck, man? Like that shit just sounds
Yeah, that's
crazy
what
to
kills
me.
the industry.
It sounds crazy to me, yeah.
Because I'm still trying to understand the bottleneck. Has he signed the artists?
You know what? You should have Motif here.
No, absolutely.
maybe
We'd
like,
love
Does
to
he
have
own the
that.
sound? At this
Yeah.
point now, I'm
I would love,
lost.
because I invited him to my show and he said he already was super defensive.
Okay.
And so I would maybe, because you guys are an easy platform, because I'm also trying to understand Motif. What's the motive behind what you're talking about? I don't understand
Bars,
it.
baby,
I don't
bars.
understand it.
No, actually, yeah, but we'll call Motif. Let's see
Yeah.
if he's down to
Yeah.
come.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's down to
For
come.
sure. If you're being legit, come through. Like,
Yeah,
let
speak,
people
put everything on the
understand
table.
Yeah, let's have a conversation.
what you're
Very
talking
true.
about. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of kids right now doing urban tone. Mara tunasikia kuna urban tone ya downtown, ya uptown.
Huh?
You know, and that shit to me is crazy, right? Because that's the fastest way to just have
Kill a
zero
sound,
tone.
yeah.
It's better to have 1% of something dope than have 100% of nada.
That's facts.
And also, you can't control a sound, bro. So if I want to make...
That's
if I wanna-
that's
if
what
I-
I'm
if I wanna- If I'm a
saying.
producer, I want to make stuff now and I get my artist... Like, how are you going to control that?
Yeah, you guys, Ebu, make sure you write their motif name.
No, I definitely.
To understand what's
calls
going
will be
on.
made.
Yeah. As you're speaking about that, also that reminded me that Easter night at Industry Night when you had everyone there, bro.
Like Sauti Sol
Nameless,
sang the
Sauti
best
Sol,
rendition.
His brother put out
Yeah.
Habib?
Manga. Yeah, that was a crazy Easter night, bro. Like the whole night was an Industry Night dedicated to Easter. I think it was in March or
Beautiful.
something.
You know, I have to say this as we just, wind up on Industry Night, unless you guys have anything you want to talk about. One of the things that I experienced doing Industry Night was I got fought a lot, right? A lot of people thought that, when you see a good thing, people, I'm sure you've experienced it. Like, I'm sure there's people who've tried to do a version of Mic Check out there, right? If you really do your research, I'm sure there are people who are copying you, right?
Yeah, even thumbnails.
And that's, for
everything.
me, I feel like that's a bit of a compliment. It means you're doing the right thing. But when people try to stifle you, right, to an extent, because we did Industry Night tours, like I took Industry Night to Nakuru, to Machakos, to Kisumu, to Mombasa, right? And this is financing from my pocket, right? And you'd have, at the time, MCSK would even send messages to artists that I'm the one who's eating their money. And I'm coming to teach you
How to get your money.
how MCSK is shagging you in the diabs without a rubber, right?
Damn, that's aggressive.
And I've look,
But that was such a cute way to put
that's
it.
literally exactly what's going on,
Yeah.
right? Because you're working so hard, your music is everywhere, and they have the audacity to say, yeah, we're giving you 350, we collected all this, and 30 million, 70 million has gone to administration.
Admin.
Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you something. Let's put an app there, fuck the admin, let's collect the cash direct,
But
even that
yeah.
30 million, right? But you see, that if you're not aware, you
How will
you
it
are
be done?
food on the table,
Yeah.
right? There are people who make millions off of MCSK, right? There are people who make millions off of Kenyan music.
Yeah, Prisk and whatnot.
Millions off of Kenyan music, not artists though. So you'd go, you try to educate people try to shut Industry Night down, they try to do other renditions, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But fast forward 10 years later, you show me one platform that actually cares about the welfare of artists. Right? Yeah. And even when we had sub babies, because Industry Night broke into Who's Next, which was a platform that we had at Jay's and gave a chance, because Who's Next is basically for much younger artists, right? Yeah. And then, but if you are already established, you're like Nyashinsky and whatnot, you can have like Industry Night, right? And even then, you still have people who are fighting you, right? Look at the industry right now. Where are the platforms for Kenyan artists to perform?
because at the time at least there was Industry Night, and then William Tuva had his thing
for launching
videos.
Yeah.
So so you'd go there to see the new videos.
Where right now, where is the platform where you can say this is where the industry congregates? And there's a reason why industry needs to congregate, because how do you know about if Spotify is, like Spotify? You want to have a conversation about, is this thing working for us as Kenya? True. Or you want Snoop to be seated on a podcast to be talking about Spotify. You're not in the same industry, right? You need to be talking about what's affecting you here. So if Kenyan artists are watching this, like, we've consistently tried to tell you, Industry Night, who's next is for you, right? It's for you. So it is in your best interest to support this, so that even brands, corporates that are looking to work with artists can see that you guys are consolidated. Right now, if I'm being honest, the industry looks like hit songs, drugs, and alcohol. No consistency.
And sex.
Yeah. And that's the music, the theme. I won't judge the theme of the music. You can sing about whatever you want. Yeah. It's your free speech. But right now, it just looks like to be an artist ni kuvuta bangi na kunywa pombe. Right? Hakuna business. And business is not a side hustle ya kitu ingine. Hii mziki yenye unafanya. This is the business, right? And it's not about hit songs. Okay, one more thing I want to talk about. When an artist says they don't do interviews, for me, I find that like you're shooting yourself in the foot, right? Why? Because you have to have hit songs for you to be relevant. Your music cannot work for you. Like, you already have a product. Safaricom has a bundle ya 1,000 bob, right? How many times do they market that 1,000 bob airtime? You already know it's there, but how many times do they advertise it?
Every day.
Right? So that product, which you have this song, think of your song as that one product, right? Advertising looks like you embracing media. You have to embrace platforms like this so that you're not just I have to release a hit song for me to eat. I have to release a song for me to eat. That's how Kenyan artists are behaving, right? When Stupid Boy says he doesn't want to be in an interview, for me, I say, Kijana, like, you really need to learn how to make the media work for you. This, like, look, when I see Scam Cardinali in a movie, I say, now we are getting it. Do you remember Akinawa Cardinali at Industry Night?
Yeah.
Right? Back in the day, right? And it's taken them a couple of years for them to even get right? So imagine if you have to be multifaceted to be able to create revenue streams for your music. You can't just be muimba and then you have social anxiety kusabu navuta bangi mingi. You cannot sit down to be able to you're not able to function,
with anyone,
right? And you're not shy. You're not what's the word I'm looking for? You're not timid. It's just that the way the music has been structured for you. Kawe ni msanii lazima uvute bangi zi. Kawe ni msanii lazima ukunywe pombe zi. Kawe ni msanii lazima ukwe msewa mogoka zi. It's not a must. You're here to do business. You think of that accountant friend of yours. When he goes to Jobo, does he consume anything?
But the job's
maybe.
No.
It's a 50-50.
When the person is Joboing, when they're doing their job.
Also, when you get into studio.
Exactly.
The culture,
that's your work.
I get what you mean.
You carry the culture out to a point, the culture stifles your growth, right? And you need much, much more than just your music for you to be able to eat. So if you don't want to do interviews, how will brands be able to see that you're somebody who can be able to merge with something? Yeah. Right? How do you even get an endorsement on something?
True.
Right? There's an American who's come and they said they've got this fantastic product and they're looking for, they'll just use your song. You are not a brand enough, right? So I feel like that idea of shunning media, I'd say take some media training, get somebody to train you on how to use media and see how it's a fantastic symbiotic relationship. Because your audience, I have 2 million people listening to me every single time I switch on that mic, right? And you're saying, there's money leaping. No, bro. I'm using your music, whether you like it or not. And that's how you'll find even a concert. An MC can hype your music without you.
True.
But without making the music, the MC has nothing to hype.
That's what I'm saying. You see, the product is already out. You're the one who's not maximizing on the product in every aspect sphere where it goes.
Yeah.
So there are spaces where we're using your music minus you because we don't even know what Stupid Boy looks like. True. You understand? So why not come?
Stupid Boy.
Right? That's his name, right?
Yeah,
that's his name.
Even if
I
with a
love. I love these guys. I love these guys. Let me give you an example. Davido released Timeless. I mean, is there anywhere where Davido did not? Is there anything he didn't do?
Honestly.
From challenges.
Dancing with kids in schools.
Kevin Hart, today I saw him on Kai's
stream.
He's on Kai's
Right?
stream, promoting something for sure.
Bruv. And you have Kenyan artists, like we literally have you have an artist coming from Nigeria.
To promote one song.
Single, promote a single.
In Kenyan
Right?
radio stations, yeah.
Na Mimi, and we're not being paid. I can categorically say, you see my hands? I never take any money for anything. I've been offered, and I say, excuse me, this interview is free, bitch. Just come through, right? I don't take money for interviews. I don't take money to put someone's song on the radio, right? But there are people, Payola,
for sure, yeah.
like, and I don't judge them. Let them
What's that?
let them do what they do, but I don't do that. Yeah. So this artist, like even now, there's an artist coming from TZ. I think it's called Lunya or something, a rapper.
Ooh, Luna is good.
Exactly. Do you know he's not
Luna.
going to sit here at just bangaiza. He's going to you paying me for that interview. Eh?
Ati wamesema nini
Okay,
there.
cool. I'll play your song, right? And then you'll be a passing cloud because we are looking for hit songs, right? When you don't release a hit, what happens? Do you go back to them Django? Right? What do you do?
Yeah.
Do you just sit there in the base and discuss unajua maze? Because for sure, if you're not coming for interviews, you're not collecting royalties. Yeah. If you don't understand what media does for you, do you understand royalties?
Yeah.
And I'm not judging. I'm just talking real facts.
No, I agree with you. So artists have to find pockets, even if it's not necessarily doing interviews. Because I'm also, and I'd understand some of those who are like, hey, how many times will I tell this story? There's those, which is fine. That's why you can
And that's
select.
where the media training happens.
Facts.
I can do an interview. I can train you to do interviews every month, even when you have nothing to say. Every month, right?
Talkability. Just
Why?
around the
Because
brand,
you're not
really-
just music.
yeah.
Are you football? I can put you on a sports show. Maze hapo seme maze. Snoop, perfect example of a guy who understands how to use media.
Media.
Facts.
Facts.
When's the last time he released a hit song?
1950.
I don't
Isn't
think
this
he-
guy commentating at Paris Olympics? What has Snoop Dogg got to do with Paris Olympics?
True.
Olympics.
Sports.
Yeah, and I was just being funny.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart hosting.
No, listen, he's already lived his life now. He's just doing
Yeah,
side
doing
missions.
things that,
Even Shaquille.
But I've seen he's cooking. He's doing a music video.
Is
So like
he?
a
Yeah,
snippet,
that's I saw that.
Maybe,
as well.
maybe. But even the biggest artists in the world, think about any Taylor Swift now, Beyonce, Drake. Anytime there's a project, they do a lot of promo. No one just wakes up and drops
The
anymore.
most.
Yeah.
So
But you
if the
see,
biggest artist invests so much in promo and they'd find different pockets to do it, it shows you that you can't just drop. Like it doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't work like
and
that.
also, I think Snoop is the perfect example. Even when he doesn't have music, he's on TV shows. He's
an ambassador for a lighter.
do you know what I mean? Like he's
Chaco,
doing
right?
Bangra Bollywood, right? Now,
Yeah.
and I'm using Stupid Boy as an example because he's got a hit song right now, right? And guys, I hate to say this. I've seen this countless times. I've told you I've done industry like 10 years. And I've been in radio plus 10 years. So I've seen much, much more.
When how old are you?
We're going to get to that.
Kevin Hart, damn.
Look at how stunning KWAMBOX is.
Honestly.
And she's always been just stunning.
Never aging.
When Mrembo.
It's San.
Yes, how back to you.
If Snoop was the kind of guy, and if Stupid Boy thinks that hit songs is the reason why we want to get to know him, he's missing the point.
True.
We want to get to know him. Tufundishe juu ya pali umetoka.
True.
Yeah. Ita KWAMBOX hapo kwa hiyo nini yenu ndio tujue,
Base.
you know, So that even brands are like, yo, this guy we can give him
put him
Royco.
here, there,
we can,
there,
you know.
yeah.
But you are, and why must all artists push alcohol?
Also, it just alcohol
Sipsty.
companies are the ones who are willing to give money.
You
a lot.
sit
Quite.
and wait for the brands to decide what we want to push Nini. Who do we work with? Who are they?
That's true.
Bruv, your
So the
brand,
positioning.
your brand is not multifaceted enough. Like how you're deep in. Like what are you into? We want to see.
More
we wanna-
So we don't know you
personality.
beyond the music.
Yes.
So we don't know how
Yeah.
to position you with certain brands,
and that's
certain
a
products.
lot of artists.
But that's your job though, as the artist.
True.
So when you open that thing up, then you have, there's a hit song. Yeah, okay, let's use this guy. Brands are coming. There's you do these dance challenges. Maybe you're with kids in the hood. You teach them how to rap or something. So
Some NGO will reach
You want to
out.
work with this guy,
Yeah.
right?
One
But how
outreach,
will they know that if you don't even want to come kwa radio, kuongea na
true.
the nation,
It's the same
address the
thing.
nation?
The Femi thing. When Femi came here, she spoke about World Vision, and they reached out, and now she's doing something with
but
them.
the
Like
two different
honestly,
brands,
it's just how you
reached out
partner.
because of
It's
a
just how you
conversation we had on the
put
podcast.
yourself.
Literally, that's it.
Is there anyone who's doing it right locally that you'd want the kids to look up to?
For using media properly.
Yeah. And even the platforms, the influencer platforms.
I think influencers are doing it better than artists.
Yeah.
Right? Like I feel
Influencers are killing
like
it, man.
look, if Crazy Kenna was a musician,
Yeah, he'd be making a kill.
my goodness.
He'd be
Like
making a killing.
kwa yake. True. Right? Kenna is a guy I traveled to. There's 2022 we were picked by Facebook.
Meta? Yeah.
Meta as influencers, what do they call us? Something.
That thing.
Well, like 10 of us on the continent and went and we were, they wanted to teach us about blah, 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 blah. So when I see Kenna, I see his drive. I know this is a guy who he understands.
Positioning
There's one
and
person out there that cares about me. That person is
the
money.
one, yeah.
That's an audience, right? Artists, I think the thing is maybe not understanding that this audience likes music and they like anything about you. So it's for you to position, okay, you like this. All right, what about this line of t-shirts that I have, right? Wouldn't you buy a Go the Tena t-shirt?
I would,
So good.
absolutely.
Na tena, you'd buy the second one, Go the
Oh
Tena.
yes,
We're laughing. But how much money has Breeder sat on those t-shirts?
True.
Right? On those merchandise, look bonkers, right? Multi-partnerships. When we were doing industry night, we were even bringing fashion, the fashion industry,
the
to
couture
show
edition.
artists that you need clothes,
Partner,
right?
true.
Partner, make clothes sell, right? Work together. But this industry is not together. And that's why on the 10th anniversary, again, we're saying, okay, got the tenner. Let's do this again, right? Because everybody's seated on money. I would wear a Stupid Boy t-shirt. Stupid Boy, if you're
G-Bag
watching this,
G-Bag.
G-Bag,
No,
like even if it's just written Stupid Boy, I'd rock it. Because I fucking
be
love
fire.
this guy.
Yeah.
And it disappoints me that he's shooting himself in the foot. And in a year's time,
Relevance will be just to know.
that's the part they forget. Yeah. And then it's harder to come back.
But true.
Yeah.
It's harder to come back.
Once
Ask
people have
Akina ethics.
true.
Yeah.
At what point is it okay to empathize? Because we also understand like where they're coming from.
My business is
maybe
business.
the
I
lack
know,
of
but everyone has a
information.
different, like there's a bit of ignorance from their part. There's also a bit of, what do you call it?
Guidance?
They're not exposed
Yeah.
as they should be.
Yeah.
The fame came before the
everything
mindset,
else, yeah.
And then I feel like for a lot of this, and I might be wrong, the songs that hit by chance.
Yeah, it's true.
They're not calculated hits. It's not like someone sat on it for 6 months.
Yeah,
and then
the
this
intention
one.
of this one, yeah.
It was just to record. Even Ethical walikuwa wanaandika ngoma na wanashoot video na nini the same day.
But that's why you need platforms like industry night, what she's saying. So when you have everyone in the industry who contributes, because even the guys who make memes, those are guys who are part of the industry, you know. But now where do you meet this industry? Like how do you know what works?
Let me tell
Where
you.
do I meet someone like Mvo who I know can help me with merchandise when I have a new hit song?
Yep.
That's where industry night plays that part. But let me tell you, there's a group, actually, you know what, Ethic, right?
Kanye West moment. It was a Jewish doctor.
No, because it hurt me.
Yeah.
Real talk. It hurt me. I decided, so the year was 2020, COVID happened, right? There was a lot of gains. Gengeton had been doing a lot. right? 2019, Gengeton was ruling the
Taking
fucking
off,
airwaves,
yeah.
right? No, it was ruling. It was not taking off was 2017, 2018. 2019, ilikuwa imeshika moto. Now it was the thing,
Naenda.
right? So 2020 came, and then COVID happened. Everything was shut down. Now I want to remember, what were your Kenyan artists saying? Gava needs to lift curfew. Everybody, everyone. And I've challenged them on this. They can ask me, right? If they're being honest, I've spoken to all the top artists at that time. I'm like, are you guys being serious? You're asking for Gava to lift the curfew. Okay. While that was happening, Amapiano was just bubbling.
Bubbling, yeah.
Right? Ilikuwa inaanza kushika. And so what did they do? They had a complete lockdown.
But they had
Proper level.
Yeah.
Let's
Like
level
hakuna kutoka.
So where were they? They knew that you cannot build a genre without performance. So where were they building the performance?
Online.
Kenya.
Because here we couldn't. Oh, that's why
At
Winning Post.
Winning Post.
Yeah.
Every weekend. Was there an Amapiano artist in Kenya performing?
Bro.
At
more
that
than
same
one.
curfew at
More than
8
one
p.m.
artist.
They were
event
good
is
with the
done.
8 p.m.,
Yeah.
right? Kenyan artists were not. They were not good with the 8 p.m. They really wanted, because Kenyan artists are used to being on stage at 1 a.m. Right? No adjustment whatsoever. So I challenged them. I asked them. And so we decided, you know what? We can't continue watching this pilferage, because that's what it is. Kenya was slowly just turning right in front of our eyes into an Amapiano nation.
Africa, true.
Right? Amapiano tours were happening in that lockdown, that curfew. So we said, all right, you know what? Let's gather some of the top, including Ethic. I remember we had Chris Kaiga, Boutros. I sat them down. I told them, guys, look, this is what's happening. You know, when you gather people and you think I'm exposing to you. There's a lion in the compound. Okay, let's get organized. Let's do this gig. Let's call Kenyans. Let's show them like Kenya is Kenyan music. Let's remind them, right? And guys were stressing me about, me, I can't post things. I can't, my deposit. I paid everybody what they asked for. I paid them. I didn't even negotiate. I said, hey, what do you want? Okay, cool. I begged brands to sponsor this thing, right? I brought all the media and they refused to push this thing. And so the turnout was not great. And so I remember, of course, before any event, I have to do the business of music because I don't see a lot of people here doing proper business of music, right? I don't see any, but I mean, Calligraph, shout out to him. I'm so proud that he's building this huge supermarket mansion, right? I fucking love it, right? I want, that, there's a supermarket mansion, right? There's a kid who's growing up, I don't want them to aspire that they have to go to America, right? They can see, this is Calligraph.
Doing it at home.
Right? So I'm proud. But how many artists can I speak of who have that?
True. Yeah.
Right? So clearly there's need for the business of music. So I sat them down and I'd invited people, we're talking about the business of music. And Ethic was, these artists were basically just brushing me off. Like I was basically forcing this shit on them. And I remember I was so pissed. I said, all right, cool. You know what? We'll see who'll have the last laugh. Where is Ethic right now?
They have some song.
Where is Ethic right now?
So they broke up.
Right?
No,
Reckless left.
Reckless left,
Okay.
but they have...
Where's Chris Kaiga?
Chris Kaiga said he's cooking.
Chris Kaiga,
Right?
yeah.
All I'm saying is...
He said he needed a break.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, you have momentum, and then what? Right? And so, I remember I sat there and I really questioned myself. I was like, Sheila, like, how many times are you going to keep doing this shit? And I said, F it. Right? Let it burn. Let it burn. Right? Yeah. And what did we see?
Ashes.
Burn. All right. Tusker picked the issue up. They said, all right, let's do Oktoberfest, right? I've hosted Oktoberfest 4 years in a row, right? And the last year, they had to take it to East Africa. They ran out of artists.
What? How do you run out of
What
artists?
are you talking?
Okay, fantastic. Show me how many Kenyan artists can pull a 30,000 audience.
In Juba.
In Kenya.
By themselves?
Right? They had to bring Diamond. They had to bring Diamond.
But I feel like even without Diamond, Oktoberfest is...
The numbers will still have numbered, yeah.
Because it's a sherehe, nothing else...
Because the lineup had everyone. Even the previous one
didn't
have an international act per se.
Yeah.
But still had the numbers-ish.
You see, the last one, who are the main acts in Kenya? Who are the main acts?
Sauti Sol, Nyashinski.
Calligraph.
Fena
By
was
that
one of
to
the
me,
mains last year.
The final act. Who becomes the final act? Right?
It's the same like Big
So
Five.
you can't, after you've done 3 years in a row, next.
It's the same thing. Also, you need that change in programming.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? So when the ones who are, and that's why there needs to be an industry where these artists, for example, like right now, Ethic should be seated at the top.
Elevation, that's very
Right?
true.
So that Akina Stupid Boy have a place to come through.
That's true.
Right? But now, Akina Ethic are exactly where
The
Akina
same,
Stupid Boy
yeah,
are.
you're in the same place.
The progression is missing.
Exactly. Right? So even a dope concept like this will slowly,
Fizzle out,
Fizzle.
yeah.
Damn.
because at the audience, if you tell me Nyashinski again, I'm like, but I'll see him
I
at
saw-
Walker
yeah,
Town. But I saw him at
yeah.
City as well.
who will call me to this gig?
What does it take to get that level then?
I mean, the work needs to be there,
Yeah.
right? You
It
need to
doesn't happen by
see. You need
chance.
to see people progress to the next level. You start at step A, you go to B, C, Evo. But if we don't
Boutros,
see that,
You see the progression.
My
True.
God.
You see the
Yeah, that is the
progression.
real
You see the
definition of,
progression.
yeah.
Even Kali, during Industry Night days, bro, I remember literally seeing the progression of Kali.
Yeah.
From Evie.
These things,
You see the progression.
Femi One.
Femi, wow. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Right? I have one of the first performances of Femi One at Industry Night. Oh my God, she literally had no performance skills. She was good at rapping, but like mic management, voice control, but you could see, and you see the work with Kaka Empire. And you see that's the work. You can't just, making hit songs is one thing, but creating
There's so much around
the business, right? So that's the structure. So that somebody can see, okay, we're going to come and work with Femi One to do something. Yeah, that needs to be seen. So that's why TZ does circles around us, because they focus a lot on the business side
more
of
than the
things. Yeah.
music. True.
And the structures. Let me take you back a little bit. Big Brother Africa. So how does one join Big Brother Africa?
Nigod.
This is
Please don't.
So this is 208, right? When you
Yeah.
do Big Brother.
Yeah, first Big Brother, it was 208. Actually, screwed. So actually how I joined Big Brother, I was a TV reporter.
K24?
Yeah. I was covering we started the station. It was a K24. 24 stands for 24 hours. News.
And the K.
All Kenyan.
all the time.
Yeah. That was Jeff Kwenange. Actually, I learned under Jeff Kwenange and Eric Latif. Eric Latif is the guy who hired me. Shout out to you, one of my mentors. And now we do breakfast. So I was being a reporter and I almost died 3 times.
What do you mean?
Almost died 3 times.
Yeah, post-election violence. So when the day they announced the
Winner of the election.
yeah, myself and Jane Goiri, who was a reporter at NTV, but we were working at K24. We got into the vehicle, went to Kibra, because we had Kibra was burning.
My God.
And where the Southern Bypass is, it was Maram at that time.
Yeah.
We were there, we're recording. We were just hearing screaming and burning and it was craziness. And then out of nowhere, this vehicle just comes and he was trying to run us off the road and we jumped and fell on the ground and he came and he took the cameras and beat the shit out of us. And
A civilian.
yeah,
Mama?
it was a plainclothes policeman,
Okay, for sure.
right? Actually, he was just waving his gun at us. Like at this point, Jen is like passed out, and it was just crazy. And so that was the first time, and then the second time was in Naivasha, Mungiki. They were just sharpening their knives there on the ground.
Oh my God.
Then reporter, because now you need to cover that.
Yeah, the third time was the second time was actually in Kariobangi, was in Mathare with Boniface Mwangi. Where they were covering just a lot of shit. Like, so anyway, after that, when they were doing the reconciliation, I think I just reached that place where I was just like, fuck this shit. I was tired of being a reporter. It was difficult to tell the truth. That's the thing people don't realize about the news. It's difficult to tell the truth because they are vested interest in what should be said. And for me, I don't like bullshit and I don't like... I'm not the kind of babe to haggle over shit. Like yeah, so I just realized I couldn't do this because the things that mattered to me, we were not able to. And I was just like, I was out.
Was it owned by the Kenyatas?
No, it was, at that point, no, it wasn't. Was it? No, it wasn't.
The Kenyatas bought, I think, in 11.
Yeah.
Or later.
Well,
Yeah.
I at that point, when I was there, it would... Anyway, so then while I was at Jobo, at that point, someone, like a colleague of mine was like filling in this form and she was like, oh, you always talk about Big Brother. And I'd auditioned the Big Brother, was it 2? Yeah, I auditioned and I got very far, but they picked this other guy. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And
how do you audition? Like, what is the process like?
So you fill in this online form and then they call you for a physical audition. And then,
In SA?
in Kenya. So and then the final is when you're just 2 of you is when now you're sent to SA for the real audition.
So wait, when you say physical audition, is it like they ask you a bunch of questions? Like what exactly?
You just meet like it's like auditioning for like a TV show.
Say less.
Yeah.
They just want to see your
So they just want to
personality.
see an interesting character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did that and I honestly didn't think I was, because it was like thousands of people. Like, you know, when you get the email, oh my God, I'm going.
You get to the queue
Then you get there, just like,
fuck.
yeah. It's like all these people you've seen on TV, on like famous people, like beautiful people. Like you're just like, I'm not. And then funny people, and you're just like, I'm just gonna stand there on the corner and just, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I made it, and then I went to South Africa, and then I was in the show.
How well did you perform in the show?
The first time I went till...
The first time?
Yeah, I did Big Brother twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember watching you the second one. At least I was old enough to watch it.
So 2008, I was like, I think 8 weeks. And then 2010, I went till the final.
Yeah. Really? That one I remember.
Big Brother All Stars. That one, there was no audition. They just asked guys, who do you want to come back? And they pick guys, and then and then we did the All Stars.
Damn.
Yeah.
Was Big Brother instrumental in the trajectory of your career? Like, because I'm assuming that's a big platform.
It is.
So the first time I went to Big Brother, I was running away. I needed a break. I'd seen a lot. I'd seen a lot of dead bodies. I'd seen my country I was not prepared for what I saw. So I'd never thought I was ever going to be a reporter. Mm-hmm. So it just happened. And then I was going for holiday. I'd quit my job and I was like, I got this trip to South Africa. Ooh, so I was chilling. I wasn't in a competition. I think I was like vibes, you know. I'm eating, I'm drinking, I'm smoking. So tell me about Zimbabwe.
But it's just being documented.
Yeah, like because you never really think about the cameras, right? Until you see like when it moves is when you're like, there's people watching.
How is it as a
really
production? Does it have like director's cut?
No, it's a 24. It just keeps rolling.
It's just like once you're in, but now you don't see the guys. So like these guys would probably be behind this glass, but the glass you wouldn't see them. They can see you, but you won't see them.
Okay.
And then there's just CCTV everywhere, right? So except in the toilet, But
in the bathrooms.
In the bathrooms, yes.
Yeah.
But they're like censored-ish.
No.
Usiku, there was no censoring. So you'd see us, you'd see
There was a channel people used to pay for this poverty.
Are you serious?
Yes. It's crazy.
People just wait.
Yeah, like you pay. So I think
there was channel 198
and then
KWAMBOX.
So
you pay and then you see people naked.
Yeah, now you can see the shower and all those things.
Is that legal?
Now, so you'd be easy fast. So fast things. So
Mnet used to censor, but when you pay for 198, you'd see.
You see everything.
Like titties.
Everything.
Like guys are showering, blah, blah, blah.
Can I still pay?
Yeah. Thing is, I don't know, like I don't have a problem being naked in front of other babes, because I've been into a boarding school. Like if we're showering, whatever. But like for a camera, fuck that.
Nah, it's not happening.
So I would shower in my bikini. Actually, I'd shower at odd hours. So what Big Brother would do, they'd make the water warm at a specific... So the hot water would be at a specific time. So they knew, then they could show that time, right?
Oh, Lord.
So once you...
clock it.
I'll shower with cold water, bruv. And it's winter in SA at that time. Yeah, so you're just like, you know what, let me...
Can't buy a
Mbaya. Because I know there's nobody at that time who's going to turn the camera to whatever.
Do they tell you prior that they'll show your nakedness?
Yes, everything is...
So you know that prior?
Yeah.
So what are the do's and the don'ts in the house?
There's nothing.
Everything is off limits.
The only thing you can't do
don't fight.
is just don't harm. You can't harm somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything
That
else
one they
don't
take
get
it very
physical.
seriously.
Other than that, everything
Chomolewa
is
immediately.
off limits.
Everything else is allowed in the house.
Yeah.
So what are the
good
crazy things
times.
you did in the house?
I mean, I made out with a couple of people. It's normal.
Couple of people.
Yeah.
But you were there for 8 weeks anyway.
I was there
I
for
mean-
3 months.
3 months.
The second time.
Lazima.
In the house.
Yes.
Do you leave the house at any point?
The first time I was there for 8 weeks. The second time I was there for 3 months.
Yeah.
Do you leave at the house at any point?
No.
You can't.
You're in the house
You're
for 3
there.
months.
You've signed to be there. Mpaka competition.
Bro, you fall in love with people. If you see someone
That's
for 3
what I'm
months.
saying. So when you can imagine, I made out like this week you're cute.
This one. Next week you're not cute anymore.
Next week, I don't know why you're looking at me like sexy and shit. So yeah.
I'm the one you're with got eliminated.
You know what
Now
I
you
mean?
have to replace
Yeah.
them.
That's
Thank you.
true.
Thank you.
Are you still friends with some of the guys who are in the house?
Absolutely. I think we keep in touch. It's one of those things like it's an experience that nobody, if you've never been in the house, it's you even meet people who are not in the same house, and you just say,
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah.
Because you can sit and talk for hours about that crazy experience. Would I do it now? I don't think so. Really? Yeah, because I feel like I'm not mentally stable. So
So you'll make out with more people.
I feel like let's be like "Fuwe blanc." Shit. Nataka nyama. Yeah, I feel like freedom. And also I think now I'm more I don't like people as much. I like my own space. So
Makes sense.
I'd lose my shits immediately. I think that's something you should do in your 20s.
For sure.
Yeah, it's something you should enjoy. I have no regrets. After that, I traveled. I've been to 25 African countries.
Wow.
I love Africa, and that's because of being on Big Brother. And Big Brother came from my love for the continent and having that thought that I always wanted to travel within Africa. Yeah.
Wow. So radio comes in after Big Brother?
Yes.
Or so, and do you begin at Homeboyz or you were a station as another station?
Actually, my first job offer was in Ghana.
Radio?
Yeah, I was offered a job in Ghana. Hey, I didn't take it. So I went for an interview, and then they were interviewing me about music because I did music and Big Brother, and then they were like, when I finished the interview, the owner of the station is like, "Yo, you'd be perfect for Drive," and I was like, and he asked me, "Think about it, then come back." I stayed in Ghana for 6 months. I never went back to that station. I had so much fun. This is what you should do in your 20s, guys. Have fun and live.
They just never got back to you?
They did. I just didn't get back to them.
I
I was just like, no, I think deep down I knew that I needed to come back to Kenya to build from scratch and then go outside. Yeah, right?
sense.
So if I'd started from there, think of everybody, like Victoria Kimani, for example. She built her whole career in Nigeria, and it's been very difficult for Kenya to absorb her. Right? So I knew I needed to. And as much as I'd be big in Ghana, there'd be a glass ceiling. So I knew I needed to come back here.
Build from here,
Yes.
then you can
Yeah. And you see, let me tell you, when you in hindsight now I'm able to say when you're doing the right thing, when you go with your spirit rather than what people are telling you to do or what you should be, you should be this, you should be that. When I refused that job, I think guys were just like, this Chile is insane. Because I've always wanted to be in radio. I knew from when I was a kid. I was just like, that's what I want to do. So when I came back to Kenya, after staying in Ghana and staying in Nigeria, I came back to Kenya and I knew I wanted to get on radio. And I'd auditioned, guys. Hey, I tried for 8 years before I got on radio. Yeah. I was terrible. I'm terrible at auditions. I know my weaknesses.
And the way you don't sound like
I know my weaknesses. I know my weaknesses. It's auditions. I suck. So I came back and Amina called me for an interview. She used to do the mid-morning show on Homeboyz.
Yeah.
And so same thing, music, Big Brother, blah, 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 blah. We finished. John calls me to the office and says, "You're perfect for Drive." The same exact,
You were told in Ghana.
same way. I went for a mid-morning show. Were interviewed about same exact way. And that's when I knew, okay, this is the one. Because I knew that job wasn't for me. Yeah, so then my radio journey started.
So your first show on radio is Ignition.
Yes.
Was it called Ignition already at the time?
Yes. Yes, it was called Ignition.
Jeff and Mike were already on the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so you were the one who was on the show.
Yeah, I was brought on the show. John was just like, I want this show to be like the baddest. And so when I joined, I was like, I had never been on a radio show, so nobody had gotten in my head. Nobody had told me like, you should do it like this, you should be So I was just like, fuck it, let's go. And I think that's how everybody should embrace the thing that they're going in to do.
But look at what you guys built, man. How long did Ignition run? When it was just Jeff, Mike, and yourself? How many years?
I think we did it for 4 years, I guess, before Kerry joined us, because Jeff left.
Yeah.
Jeff left, yeah.
Jeff left. Where did he go? I can't remember.
Radio Africa.
Yeah. Oh, he came to Kiss. Yeah,
with Nyangweso.
Yeah, he came to the Kiss Drive show. Yeah. Then he left us. Then Kerry joined us. Yeah.
Bro, Ignition was a vibe.
Fire.
You guys were such a vibe. But with such a successful show, when you know it's coming to an end, was it like a hard decision? Or you got to like, we've done what we needed to do?
No, for me, I think I'd reached that place where I was like, I need a new challenge. Because when you start doing something like, it's like driving. When you're driving, you can drive till, like from here till just listening to an ebook and you're like in another world. But like as long as your eyes are open and your ears are open, you will get home. Like if you've done it before, right? So I hate doing things subconsciously. I get bored and I think that's where I'd reached and I was like, I need a new challenge. And so I did my thing and I resolved with myself and I said, by November next year, I'm not going to be on this show. And I let them know. So when it came to time to renew contracts, when Radio Africa was being taking over Homeboyz, I said, I'm not taking the contract. And and everybody was just like, what? You're crazy. Like, you don't quit your job. And I'm like, I know I've done what I was supposed to do on this show. And I like when I have a role, like, when I'm useful, and when I'm no longer useful, you gotta step aside because there's space for somebody to come and do something there. Lotan wouldn't have come on the show, for example, if I didn't step aside, and it was his time. So then when I stepped aside, the offers now came in, and I knew that I wanted to do something that was new, where I could build my own audience, like from scratch, test. So that's why Vibes I knew was the perfect fit.
Vibes is now the move that I found a bit weird.
Me too. Gotta do weird things, man.
If you get into Vibes, man, I just want to say that you guys at Homeboyz, when there was Ignition with you guys, there was the Jump Off, Jiman in the Morning, Class 1 to 4. Bro, that shaped my teenage years.
Thank you.
That shaped my teenage years. You guys were so cool.
Facts.
Thank you.
Like, so cool. I don't think I'd listen to other stations and then I'll just come back to it. I'm like,
this is home, man.
There's like a thing.
To be honest, I think we all bleed Homeboyz. I think deep down, like even right now, Kiss is like Homeboyz.
Hey, you guys were the actual setters. Like you guys defined urban radio in Kenya.
You did properly,
and set such a high standard that I don't know. Anyway, so Vibes, I found Vibes that was a weird move. I was like,
I think it was an interesting
reggae and dancehall. Okay, like I know KWAMBOX has mad energy. But now I don't know, Vibes was just a weird move, man.
Is Vibes still on?
This is what people, like, people are usually afraid of stepping aside from the light, right? Because it's like, I'm not going to be relevant. Yeah, you see, you don't realize how irrelevant you are under that light because you're just a group of people. But if you stand aside and create your own light there, and that's what I ended up doing with Vibes. Actually, my brand grew exponentially at Vibes.
Yeah.
So if I had sat and listened to a bunch of people, they'd have told me, hey, the audience, you're moving. There's no audience there. You're going to start from scratch. And I'm like, exactly, right? I'm on my own journey. I think life is, everybody's on their own journey. True. You have to set the things that, matter to you. They might not make sense to everybody else, but to you, I know that this is the right, and I pray a lot. So I knew that this was the right journey. And it's how you feel about something, when you go somewhere and you're just like, I want to fly in the morning.
Yeah.
Like I have energy to actually, literally I can resuscitate someone from the dead because I have too much energy. Yeah? I know I'm doing the right thing. When I have no energy for something, just know, KWAMBOX, you need to stop doing that shit.
Yeah.
How did that pairing with, was it Brand happen?
Brand Bunde.
Yeah.
So, companies do what they do, right? Companies do what they do. And I think I can categorically say HR needs to stop hiring talent.
Louder! Louder.
Yeah.
I feel like Mbunde was perfect. Like, I love Mbunde, but I just think he was not ready for a breakfast show, right? And so the good thing about Mbunde, he was ready to learn. He was, and I'm a patient human. I think my thing is I love to teach, right? So I enjoyed working with him. It's just the frustration was that he wasn't at that level, right? And this was my first breakfast show and I was giving it my all and I feel like he was doing catch up, right? So I think that was the downside of having him. And so I think just the disadvantage is when the HR picks for you your talent and I was just like, make magic. And it's just like, that's not how it happened.
True.
Yeah.
Especially for such positions. So then, what happened with Kiss Walupulipa? How much into Wendego?
Wow. I mean, there's money in the bank. I feel like people focus on the wrong thing. People love to talk about money, right? And I feel like
politician answers.
No. With all that I have done to get where I am, shouldn't my talent be compensated?
Sure.
No, absolutely. And well
That's it.
compensated.
That's it.
Yeah.
Period. I've answered the question.
Top 1%.
So how much they pay?
I don't share information that does not jenga anyone, right? The people who eat jenga, they know, right?
Yeah.
And that's me. I know.
That person
If I get if I'm privileged to meet somebody, I want you to know it's on a need to know basis. Yeah, I'm not sharing that how much money I make. Mama is my money. Our money is the one you're bringing.
Period.
So even a long-term partner, you wouldn't be open?
Okay, gosh, I didn't know we were going to talk about relationship stuff on this podcast.
Hypothetically.
On the latest episode of Boxpod, I was caught because I literally talked about this shit. I'm like, don't overshare with the person you're shagging. Like,
shagging.
Yeah,
shagging.
like
but now
together.
shagging is fine. But if this is someone that you're building,
You
something,
see
you're
it.
still shagging forever. Come on.
Okay,
Right?
shagging, you let them know what in your M-PESA.
No. You're the basis.
Why?
Sina
If you shag
ukimwi,
for a year,
sina
then you can let
STD,
them know.
we're right.
Why am I letting you know?
Yes.
Like, okay.
No basics.
So my thing is, so I was saying that there are things there are things you shouldn't share in a relationship.
Like
there are things
ever.
Just because we're shagging doesn't mean now I start telling you, my dad.
But that's
My dad hijacked a moti. No, what
So, sir,
the fuck am I telling you?
how do you
That's
do?
different.
Like, yeah.
If you're going to be together for life, I feel like, there's a certain level of things.
How do you
should
know you're
share.
going to be together
Yeah, for
forever?
life. And what is life?
How do you know? The evidence, right? Evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless there's a none evidence, you are just mark timing. You're
Hata
mark
mkiwa na
timing.
partnership, mnaishi pamoja.
Listen, let me
You
tell you.
those are the
adopted a
worst.
puppy that's now a
Me,
dog.
I have lived with someone, okay? I've lived with someone And am I living with them now?
Tell
So
us.
what info do they have about you?
That's what I'm saying. Don't share shit. I'm speaking from experience.
So did you ever share when you were living
Me,
with
I've
them?
learned like I've learned that shit. Like once I shared once, when I meet somebody else and they ask me, I'm like, you need to find my ex.
Yeah.
Who
Oh.
For
broke
some
whose
reason,
heart?
your information.
Yeah.
Maybe they can share with
carry
you.
forward.
I've learned never again. After that, like, why are you sharing? Like, there's some things which should be, unless we've made that commitment and we're, now for real. Like now,
It's
even
me and
Gava
you,
knows,
yeah.
like legally right now. If you decide you're walking away, it'll be difficult.
True.
So you gotta stay here, right? When I've got that kind of safety,
Yeah. You know that meme of that teacher who grabs someone?
Inakuja hapa.
Boss come.
there we go. Not somebody who's just be like, hey, even by the time you want to open your mouth and say, actually, in the story for carjacking, you keep quiet because
Like now.
if I find out, I could decide to go with everything.
That's true.
Right? Like it's risky for you, right? You don't just share with people. There's no risk.
Yeah.
Like you're just there to tomorrow and for real. Like there's no secret out here. Let me tell you something. If you tell me something right now here,
Boxpod one time.
Radio.
Kerry tells me shit and I'm on air saying, but see, you told me. Right? Like, listen, let me tell you something. There are no secrets in this world. So you've told someone something deep there, emotional, tears have even come out, nini. Then they're invited to a party somewhere and they don't even have a party joke and somebody there has chomwad keys for a Lexus or
They have-
Sijui a Rolls
they
Royce.
start
Now they
to
just
boy
say,
in
fuck, it's my
secrets.
turn. Yo,
Chaxy.
Chaxy is me, man.
Anakapitia.
Yo, anakapitia, man. Your story now becomes the party trick there. No, fuck that. Yeah. Don't be shy.
That's true. Even me, at some point, I'm like, unasikia story mbili tatu, then
You're just like, nah,
being very
fam.
conscious of what
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there's someone who at some point were really close friends.
But like, why are you putting so much pressure on me, bruv? I'm your friend, but like I have a mouth.
Yeah.
Okay?
Now you're giving me pressure
And
to
the
not...
story is juicy. I could use it as a cautionary tale to what he's about to do. He's bad. Why are you holding me hostage? You couldn't keep the secret yourself. You expect me to...
And it's your secret.
Come on.
Yeah, it's your secret.
Yeah.
True.
Me, all I know is usually when you tell someone something, like especially when you tell them,
Don't. I think that's a trick. Just don't say usiambiane.
They're gonna tell
Kwanza people
No.
who do this.
The minute you prompt the usiambiane, just know that secret is out.
People
You'd
are-
rather just say it
talk.
and leave it like that.
Yeah.
So you give people different stories and then you hear which one leaked.
That's psychotic.
But
Yeah,
That's
true.
psychotic. You
It's
have too
giving
much
fear
time in your
therapist,
life.
exactly.
Man. Come on.
And also, it might be, okay, I hear you, from the source. So I want to talk about that juicy in Kiss when you are under fire.
Wait
For
first.
that comment.
So you guys, you don't know that I'm a beauty queen because I thought you were just going to walk
No,
back to
we're getting
No,
there.
I got you. Don't
just
worry. I got you. I got you.
We're going to get till that when I came out.
I got you. So Juicy, when now guys are coming for your job because of that, the Kapoow comment on the Nigerian guys. So, because that got me thinking, Sana. I was like, if you find yourself in that position, like, what is the process of apologizing?
No. Apologizing for what?
You know apology analysts online. Because normally, as soon as the apology comes out, you know what's
And
coming.
I rate
People
0
start
out of
breaking it
10
down. They say,
plagiarized.
this is not a genuine apology, or this one she read, this one. So, what is a good apology? How do you even approach?
Let's start with what did I say?
Yeah. Well, some
I know
Okay, of course I'll
you're not
paraphrase.
feeling Nigerians right now.
No, Kapoow that duvet, wake up.
And then there was a
I
Nigerian
know you
song
don't like
playing.
Nigerians.
There was a
but I'm
Nigerian
gonna
song
jam
playing,
to Nigerian
and I was
songs.
jamming to it.
Yes.
And then I said, I know you guys are not jamming to Nigerian music, but
I'm jamming.
I don't care, right?
Yeah.
Because I'd already done my thing there. And Kenyans, let me be blunt. Let me tell you what happened, right? So there are Twitter influencers. Have you ever worked with Twitter influencers?
I have.
You know, right? You've never worked with Twitter influencers
I have.
to promote something, a hashtag. Yeah. So we did that for an event called Hanye, the company. And and we had this crew and they did a fantastic job and they were paid. But then the main guy, he paid with the shrooms. We didn't know. We finished, we've signed with him, we've paid him, he's gone. So apparently in New Year's around there, I'll tell you his name. Around New Year's, my PA tells me, there's been a these guys are complaining that they weren't paid. And I was like, why didn't you let me know? Anyway, so we discussed with them. We showed them the evidence. Look, your guy was paid. You need to follow the guy. Anyway, fast forward that day when I posted that video. Kumbe, these guys had still not gotten this guy. And so they were upset and they needed someone to take the fall. And so they decide, this guy writes and he says, you'll have to apologize for this, blah, 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 when I released. Remember, the video I did was on my page for 24 hours. People liked it. It was a Kapoow video, me dancing, usual. The usual Kapoow 24 video. Hours, it's on my page, nobody's saying anything. But this guy came to my page and said, you're going to pay for this. And then they start tweeting at each other. I follow the conversation. They think they're being sleek. I'm following them. Nini. They want me to pay them. I said, fuck it. Right? So when the conversation came out, Kenyans, let me show you how gullible you are. You all jumped onto the conversation that was curated by these guys, right? And they were now saying that I hate Nigerians. Let me ask you, all your vitriol against me, how did it help the girl who died? I didn't speak about her. I never mentioned her, right? Number two, what ended up coming out because of anger, right? And falling into a trap. Like today you'll see people throwing stones at Siju Rigiji, and you just jump in, not understanding whether is this what did Rigiji say, and you make your own opinion, right? So if you just go back and look at that video, right, the context of what I'm talking about, it was not related to what was going on. Number three, so has any Nigerian been arrested for the murder of? Has been charged for the murder of Ivy.
I know they did some. They arrested some people.
Has anyone been charged? How many months passed? Where's your vitriol? Number four. Why is all Nigeria? Why was all of Nigeria being dragged? When one Kenyan does something, like the one who murdered someone in abroad, is that all Kenyans? The previous day when that video came out, a Kisi guy killed someone. Sindio? Why didn't you cancel all Kisis? Right? It's bullshit. And so I cannot apologize for something that doesn't make any fucking sense. Right? You jumped on a train and just started. And by the time the dust settles, you were just part of a lynching. And that's mob justice. You see, when somebody has stolen something from somewhere and two people are fighting him, and then someone comes with a tire and kumbe ni tire gari yake alikuwa ameweka hapo kwa boot, unashanga brother, kwani huna kitu ya kufanya? No, he was just waiting for
something,
mob mentality. And so I refused to apologize. But what ended up coming out was xenophobia that Kenyans have. Kenyans are xenophobic. You are in trying to throw stones at me, you showed the world that you hate Nigerians. You showed the world.
But also, would you say Kenyans or that section of Kenyans as well?
Well, and that's the question I was asking. Would you say Nigeria? Or would you say Nigeria?
Yeah.
Right? So I can't apologize, right? You can't stone me and not be... You should be mad at the murderer. You're misdirecting your anger.
Yeah.
It's not towards me. And yes, your anger doesn't do anything. You know how I know you're full of shit, right? I waited. I have many of these tweets. I waited to see you on the streets when we were on the streets.
Marching for femicide.
You weren't there. You were telling me, in fact, let me tell you, the ones who were fighting me, they were telling me, some of them were telling me, you will rape, you will kill you. I'm like,
Damn.
For Ivy, right? For Ivy, that's what she needs. What the fuck, guys? How can you fight femicide by... So that's how I know it's all bullshit. And I can't apologize. I just let you... If that's what it takes for us to have a conversation, then let's do it. Yeah, but I stand by my words, and I recorded another video the next day, and so they realized that shit, we can't get this, babe, because I don't just talk nonsense.
Yeah.
I talk things that I can stand by, right? Yeah. And that particular thing, I stand by it, right? And I stand against femicide, and a lot of those people, the fact that you can show violence against me as you're trying to
protect another one.
And you're just talking, I'll Kapoow the shit out of you, man. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So, because actually you didn't apologize.
No,
I think Keith only just pulled down the video.
Yeah, which
from their
on that
page.
part, that
but why did they
particular,
pull it down?
that's an intern who did that. I was quite upset about it.
Yeah.
And don't worry, I will repost the video. I have it. It's
Yeah.
my video. I will repost it. It was such good vibes that I was going through. And you see, for me, I am against the pretense, right? Feelings don't get us anywhere as a country. You can't just be, today you are upset about this. Even your sweat glands are tired of you. You get upset about things and then you calm down and then tomorrow you've moved to the
Another
next
new
thing.
thing.
You hata una msimamo.
There's always a new thing to get upset about.
You're a waste of just resources. Yeah.
So this time, before we just talk about beauty, so the time you're joining HBR, I can only imagine how competitive radio was. Because radio was the biggest form of media, right?
Yeah.
And so it would make sense why, the notion of they're recycling the same people. Also, it speaks to just how
Recycling.
Yeah. Si walikuwa wamesema KWAMBOX ako huko.
Amerushwa huko, amerudi.
Yeah. But if you look at how influential radio was at that time and now, is there like a big difference?
Absolutely.
Because of digital?
Huge. Digital, I think also, I think a big part of it is that, we're competing with the phone, right? You have 600 things. But funny enough, I'm not competing with like other streaming services. I'm competing with social media.
Yeah.
Because, and I was having this conversation just last week when, even just you, like when you watch TV, don't you have like your phone?
Yeah.
So if there is a moment on that TV show where the dialogue is boring,
TikTok.
right? The show has lost your attention. So format of radio, we are now slowly learning to change the format because there's a lot of things that are now not necessary.
Yeah.
Because while that spot is there, that's where I lose the so I'm competing with social media, basically. Yeah. And the audience has changed, that's for sure, but the numbers are still there. Radio still has the numbers. So people are listening to the radio.
So urban radio is still relevant?
Yes. Highly, very.
Really?
Yeah. The only thing is brands are not spending the money
As much
as
as
much.
they used
yeah,
to.
but
now-
the listenership is still there.
Because now part of the money they spend now they have to spend
Social
on digital
media.
as well. So
Yeah.
the money is split. I don't know.
and
For
also-
me, I just feel like urban radio is not relevant. I don't know why.
You
I
know,
feel like vernacular is urban. I'm not sure.
when you talk about urban,
Yeah.
who are you talking about?
I'm talking about
The
these guys.
Homeboyz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One,
Right.
even our phones don't have radio anymore.
All right. Let me ask you a question. Right?
Yeah.
In your mind, you're thinking all vijana, like urban for you is
People like
Kileleshwa,
you, yeah. And I keep telling you,
Nyari.
I've told you that so many times.
Nairobi. Do you understand that a lot of people don't even have money for bundles?
Thank you. I keep telling you, speaking from privilege, sir.
Right? Do you understand that? A lot of young people don't have bundles.
Tell him. Mi nikisema mi ni mbaya. KWAMBOX, tell him.
To have your bundles on the phone on, you never think about switching them off.
True.
No.
Yeah, there's somebody who's buying a 10-bob bundle just to be able to go on YouTube. A 10-bob YouTube bundle. So not to ati, I'll move from YouTube and go to Instagram, right? So for info and music, they listen to the radio. So you pick a station that
So they
plays...
stream it?
No, you still have phones that have radio.
Sindio.
And you still have a
don't have
radio.
radio.
What?
Your phones.
Again, privilege, Chaxy.
Okay.
Mbona dhani techno zina radio?
It's done a techno in a while.
Yeah. So you see, young people are still listening to the radio,
Yeah.
right? The country is still listening to the radio. Urban radio is very, 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 very popular.
Yeah.
People are driving their cars, but most importantly, at home, like guys are chilling, they listen to the radio. You might not have bundles to stream. You don't have access to street trace and whatnot, so you get to listen to the radio. And also for info, people like the fact that they can wake up and they have a friend, right? Do you know how lonely it is just listening to a playlist and nobody's talking?
Every day.
Yeah. We live in a world right now where people are lonely. They tune into the radio. Like, I have people who call me and say, hey, I'm walking. I'm taking the kids to school. And I'm like, are you listening to what we're talking about? I haven't had time to switch on the radio. They know that they have a friend in us.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. And I think radio still has a long way to go.
Okay. Let me take you back now. before tuongea about Boxpod. Yeah, I'm really curious about your upbringing. Yeah, where did you grow up? What is it like?
Meaning, I'm a Nairobi Bay.
It's
You're not
evident.
from Uko.
Keroka.
I'm a Nairobi Bay. My mom is from Kisii, and then she married a Luya guy who's from Kakamega, where she's now based. But I grew up my whole life in Nairobi. We started in Kilimani, then we moved around. We moved to East Lando. We moved to us were those guys. I've talked about this a lot. It was we were moving for quality of life. The Tena had huge houses, right? Compound and stuff. And then it just became like Eastlands. So then we moved to we moved a lot. And we weren't moving at it because we're just looking for the perfect house. It's because we didn't have rent. Chances are the landlord has kicked us out, those kind of things. I remember there's one time in South Sea where your neighbor, you're in high school and people know you, you're a cool kid, whatever. But then we've reached that place where we don't have money completely. And so you have to now auction, I'm talking to you now, my friend, you think you guys need mugs? We're selling everything so we can be able to move. It's a long story. You can read about it in my book. But yeah, so those things soon. Okay. Those things, I've stayed pretty much everywhere in Nairobi, maybe except...
Excess millionaires.
What? No, but we moved a lot. A lot. Yeah, so yeah. So I'm a Nairobi Bay.
Best
How many
neighborhood?
siblings?
Best neighborhood was Ngumo, right?
Ngumo was cool.
Back in the
my teenagehood spent in Ngumo. Yeah. Worst neighborhood, there's a place called Suna.
Where's that?
On Gong Road. Where Santak is.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a Suna. I just remember because my dad had gone and was supposed to move to another house in Golf Course, then he got conned. All the money, right? And so, the way you told these guys, we need to move. So it's 30th is tomorrow. So you quickly have to scrape some cash together. And we just had to move to this house in Suna. I remember the toilet, Ilukwele, the one for the... every morning was just crying. We all hated the house. But then from there, we moved to Ngong, which was
better.
Sang from the frying pan.
So you guys had moments of broke?
Complete. Yeah, complete. Yeah. Life happens.
That's crazy to the mind of a kid, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you grasping what was going on? Or
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Look, the thing I like about my folks are, they talk to us, right? When things are not going okay, it's not those ones for where you just, you kind of know what's going on. That's actually what made me move out early, because I knew now, okay, I need to start grinding. And I think I started at 20. I got my first job. Even how I got to K24 is I was working. I needed to pay my rent. I needed to pay my school fees. I needed to pay, rent. I needed to help them with, fees and stuff. So it just got me going. I knew that they needed help.
Yeah. Did you actually play basketball professionally?
Yes, I played in the league. Yeah. I played. It was NPC Valley Road. I played the women's team. I kind of missed that today when I was going for my run. I was just I need to get back to basketball. Yeah. It's just that I don't like people anymore.
So why did you stop playing?
Because I became a beauty queen.
Oh, so this is Miss Tourism.
Yeah, so now then I was doing more modeling. Than there was no time to meet for basketball.
Training and whatever.
Yeah.
Then you were Miss Tourism Kenya 205.
Hey, now ringi.
Okay. Pulse wanasema 205.
Chana Pulse kwanza.
Ukwende huko. So do you get paid for those things? Normally what happens in that world?
Stories are jabba.
No. Real.
I don't like... You see, I can talk about anything. This particular one, I don't like talking about it. Okay, anyway, so the year was 2007 and we'd been selected. There was Miss Kenya, Miss Tourism, Miss Commonwealth and Miss something.
Yeah.
Are you hearing the background I'm coming from? My folks are barely scraping by. But my mom was like, no, we got to do the best we can for... She had gotten a job and at least at this point we were in Gumo. So she's like... so they're like, now she can't use a matatu. Now she has to dress in a certain way. You know, like now you're a beauty queen, right? But they're not giving you the money for this shit, right? Even when they were announcing like, you know, this is what Miss Tourism is going to win. Bro, I was given a camcorder like that was already like outdated, like a JVC. I shit you not. And I was supposed to win something else. So this, the owner of the pageantry hadn't me. Now, you know, I do events, so I get her fully, right? She had those sponsors, right? Or she had debt from previous events. So she used this money for sponsorship to that. I don't know. Anyway, so, you know, that was just how we were moving. And you're using taxis and then she was just moving wrong. She was moving wrong. The owner of this pageant, beauty pageant. She's actually the owner of Ashley's Kenya. And so basically one day, she called us and we were to meet some ministry. I think it was Ministry of Technology or some shit, like IT, whatever. I remember there was media. It was a Saturday. They'd given us X amount of millions to go do our, you know the way you say, I want to save the children.
Yeah, the CSR.
I'm going to do what? Yeah. So we'd said all the things we want to do. So they've given us money. We've shaken hands. We have our crowns there, our sashes there. And then we get to the office the next week. I'm excited. I'm like, damn, where do I start? Kibra, right? Where do I, green, Kotuivi. And then she tells us, no, this money is for paying you don't think it's cheap. Hey, guys, that's where my activism started. I was just like, sorry, excuse me?
She understand.
What did she say? Right?
The children are not
so
being
I think
saved.
at that point she realized I was going to be a problem, right? The fact that I'm asking, because everybody else was just like, okay.
Silent.
So the next week she dethroned me.
Oh, wow.
Yep. She wrote a whole nini to the... So I found out from the newspaper. Imagine, that time I was in Yosei, I'm walking towards the bus. And all the newspaper guys, they know me there. They just say, hey, kuja usome gazeti.
Wow.
I'm like, sorry, what? So I go there, go up on Nation Center, I forgot the gazeti, page 2 there. Page 2. So she has taken
Money to
time
pay.
to put there to say that I've been dethroned from, gross misconduct.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's some people who just like fucking around with like young people.
True.
And she's one of them. I usually tell anybody, do that beauty pageant at your own risk. Yeah.
But she still runs it. So
Yeah. In Kenya. There are people who have massive corruption and they're still your leaders.
Yeah.
Right? It's Kenya for you, right? Yeah. She really tried to, she thought she would finish me, but when she dethroned me is when brands now started wanting to work with you. Yeah, so I got to model and make money from modeling until I was tired.
For modeling. Wow. And so kind of Big Brother.
Yeah.
So Boxpod.
2K24.
2K24 first.
Yeah.
Then ukapigwa mama trauma huko hivi
Sure.
ukaenda kuresearch Big
How is
Brother.
Zimbabwe?
How is Zimbabwe? Oh man. Boxpod, what's going on there, man? We also want to complain you guys are not consistent with the pod.
Yeah.
Why?
It is.
Just life, man.
Yeah. What is
life.
the challenge with
Look, I try not to force creativity. Like if I have nothing to talk about, there's nothing we're talking about. It's as simple as that. Like, look, even radio, if I'm being honest, I need 3 months a year of talking for me to be able to recharge. I spend 4 hours every day talking, right? And then I have the
5 days a
podcast.
week.
You get, and then, so sometimes we just need a break,
and
right?
you're hosting gigs as well. That's
True,
more
in
talking.
between.
Yeah. So sometimes I have nothing to say.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just want to be quiet and absorb and yeah. So the truth is it might never change. So
Get used to it.
The inconsistency will be consistent.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Have you guys been able to monetize the show?
No, not yet. Actually, this funny enough, the first podcast I ever did, I'm like I made money. Good money.
Which one? Oh, the one with the Valentine's.
Yeah. And so I thought that was, just gonna be the format. But you see, this format podcast for talking, it's very difficult to make money for brands to come on board because. But there are other products that I'll soon be dropping. Then you'll see where we spend the time. But just every day trying to chambua things that are happening. Sometimes we need a break. We need to make sense of what's going on so that when we come to talk, we have things that we're talking about. Yeah.
So guys, basically she said she'll drop when she drops.
I think boxers no.
Yeah, but they were in the comments. Yeah. So let me read some of the questions guys had. At Sita Fadhali, anamaliza chapati ngapi?
How many chapos do I feed?
Yeah.
I'm not, okay, maybe like 1 or 2.
Max. She does 10.
You're mad.
No. King Kaka generally does 10 to 15 one sitting.
Yeah. When you see someone is skinny like that, he probably has a pet anaconda of a worm that's being fed in there, man.
Had Gisharu Paminas, the best and worst event she has ever hosted as an MC. Ask her if NIFES 2019 was the worst.
It has to be that one.
What happened?
And then 2019 is where the person died. There's a guy.
NIFES.
Yeah. That one I refused to do. I don't know. 2018 is. I don't know. It was 2019 because there's one I refused. The next year was just
20 because I think it was COVID.
I said I wasn't gonna do one.
Yeah. 2020 I think is the one that
the one where someone died. Yeah. So 2019 was the worst. And the one where someone died was worst, but I wasn't there. But that one, because it was too packed, there was no security.
What?
Actually, I remember the kids were dancing. I've never seen anything like that. Like it was like 5,000 people dancing in, the tent was the size of this thing. And most of them were in the rain and they had given up, they'd removed their shoes. Now they were just dancing in the mud, right? And there's like 5,000 of them, right? And it's just like the only place where there's shade is the stage.
Because of the equipment.
And for me, I was just like, I'm not gonna MC this gig because I don't want to be affiliated with in case something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's very difficult. You see, like even when you're doing, like say, Walkertown, there's 15,000 people and then someone starts pushing. I have to now start controlling the crowd. Hey,
calm down.
But we are working with the security. There's a plan. So it's not. But telling the audience by themselves move back, no. I left. I remember I just introduced Fena and I left. Yeah.
Damn.
I'd even forgotten that.
How do you leave an MC gig? You tell someone like me I'm out.
Yeah, I do have standards.
Okay.
It's called a rider. Like once you sign the contract, there's bare minimums, right? And security is at the very top. Why? Because why an MC has to emphasize on that is in the event someone dies at that gig, you think they know the owner of the gig. They just remember KWAMBOX, right? So if there's no security, first you've already paid me my full amount, even before I've come to that gig, but I'm not stepping on the stage until you have done your part. Yeah.
One Deno 254, how has life been hosting morning shows and any best or worst experiences so far?
I love morning shows.
I'm
a morning person. I love morning. I wake up early anyway, so it's good. At least I'm doing something with the morning. I love mornings. They're fantastic. Worst moment I think was during COVID. It was a very confusing time. Yeah, for everybody. And I remember at some point I was the only presenter who was going to Jobo at Vibes. Everybody else was told to stay at home. And so my job was just to keep the nation calm. It was taking a lot of my energy. I didn't realize just how much of my energy it was taking because I was really giving myself to the audience. People are calling from everywhere and they're just like, so tufanye nini KWAMBOX? What should we know, And it was a lot.
And I can imagine, because all of us are finding out new information every day, and now
Real
guys
time.
have to wake up to you and expect to get an update.
Exactly.
And also, you're also learning about this thing at the same time.
Yeah.
And maintain the energy on air.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was bad.
That's hectic.
And to Machana, we've answered that. Get another one. Joy Ray Jones. Ask her if tables turned, would she work with Kibe? And if no, explain.
Tables turned.
Yeah, that is Nashindo.
What tables?
Look at that. Ask her if tables turned, would she work with Kibe? And if no, explain.
Okay. I don't understand that question. Would I work with Kibe? It depends what kind of work you're talking about.
Yeah.
Shamba work?
Maybe radio.
I don't know.
Maybe radio.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
on
think
radio.
I don't know about Kibe.
Yeah.
First, can I say fuck that guy for he said some shit about me.
What did you say back to him?
No, when I joined
I'm not.
when I joined Kiss, I mean he knows. I mean, unless he does his
Selective amnesia.
he has amnesia. He did because people sent me. I don't watch his I'm not his TA.
Yeah.
I have to say. Like
Yes,
I'm definitely not his audience, right? And I like everybody has their I can tell you're not in
Girl. We are one. Please speak on my behalf.
Ad-libs.
I don't care. Like I genuinely don't care about what other people are doing. Like if you ask me what the next person is doing, I'm very
Focused on you.
focused on my own shit. Like I'm on my own journey. But yeah, he said a few things about me. He was like, Sudri Kiss is going to be gay or some shit like that. And I'm just like, I found that quite hilarious. But I understand everybody has to eat, you know, like, especially when you're jobless, like, and you're seeing the person on that seat, like, I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, it did bring him numbers. Yeah. So I'm glad I'm feeding you. But yeah, I just felt like it was so left. But I feel like for his audience, that's the kind of content they love. So I think it worked. But would I work with him?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Radio.
I don't think so. Only because I don't purpose to be controversial.
Okay.
Right? I really try to be like, I wake up every morning to try and be impactful, not controversial. So even for example, the issue when people were dragging me, I chose not to engage because I'm not trying to be controversial, right? I mean, here's the thing: you guys followed me en masse, like you added numbers for me. Yeah. That means nothing to me, right? Because for me, at the end of the day, the things that I do, and I feel like he's on a different journey.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. Never say never, you see. I say never say never.
Okay.
Maybe one day our journeys will be on the same page. But right now, I feel like he's going to Zimbabwe and I'm heading to
and you stop
Egypt.
stop smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Don Waliaula wants to know if you have a black belt.
Kapoow.
I feel like I was born like this, right? I feel like even how I came out of my mouth, pow, right? Like, yeah. I've never done any martial arts.
Oh, really?
No.
Ni vibes too? Okay. Would you?
I think so, yeah.
I feel like martial arts is something I want to do at some point.
Some guy tried to get me to do capoeira. I was just like,
okay. The Brazilian one.
I don't know.
That has a lot of dancing, yeah.
I feel like if I get the right person, not somebody who's trying to like, I hate people who are trying to bark instructions at you. I'm just like, you need to shut the fuck up.
And calm the hell down.
You need to come correct. Let's start with both. 35 on the ground. No, it's gotta be fun. It's gotta be. If it's not fun, I'm not there.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Onduso Edwin wants to know if you can speak fluent Kisi.
Hey, Onduso. Hey, that name. You can't hide anywhere with that name. Nimanje teke gusi. Nchone nomu gusi koruwe kerure. So on that note, birthright yane no kumanyeke gusi.
Eish nini.
Hapa hakuna mtu anajua mother tongue. Who knows here mother tongue? Who knows their mother tongue?
I speak fluent mother tongue.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, Kuyo, I feel like is not a mother tongue.
Oh, wow.
I feel like it's a third language.
Yeah.
True. It's a third language. Yeah. So, nyinyi wengine tu ni
Vibes.
you can be stolen.
Not
No,
quite.
they can.
Mimi nasikianga
They can.
lakini says young girl.
Yeah. I don't know. Nasikia
Oh,
like
not
it's
sure.
just-
There's a Mzungu who walks into the country and the first thing is like, which accent? We like, Ndiposa. And they're there. Right?
Mama Chimi.
Yo, I'm telling you, these accents are sexy. We were lied to by the white man.
No, it's true.
Like, for real.
They are very sexy.
The only reason we speak, and I'm now currently like really like if you listen to me, I speak a lot of Sheng, and I never grew up speaking Sheng. It's on radio. The people would call, and it would be weird because I just come back from like traveling, all these things, and I'm speaking like English, and so someone is talking to me, and especially babes, munajijua, I don't understand. Your boyfriend is speaking deep Sheng.
Kwani mnaongeanga?
Wait, tunafanyia kitu ama. Aki babes, I'm just like, it sounds weird when somebody is speaking to you in Sheng and then you're responding in English. So I started learning Sheng, and now I'm just like, I really love it, like so much. And I feel like it's shameful that people don't know their languages. Yeah.
Let me give you a life hack. Just
Nyinyi inaongelesha.
learn how to say, I speak my mother tongue fluently in your mother tongue. That way when someone asks you, you just say that in your mother tongue.
Yeah, mother tongue.
That's what I've done.
wild.
No, but you should. But guys, we've been brainwashed. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You want to be in touch with yourself, you need to go back to your roots.
Yeah. Mbarambara ni kuzako. Mnajuana.
Putting kisses on the map.
I know. Kama siku zako lazima ni kuzewa mbachi.
One of the two.
One of the two.
Niombachi. Na Nyashinsky.
Oh, like static.
Ecstatic.
Yeah. Gatekeepers. What happened to her real housemates? DNG, Barry, Laura, and Telemani.
Hey.
Were they your housemates?
Who is
That's a stalker.
See what happened to her? Her real husband.
You were housemates with Telemahini?
Yeah.
And DNG?
And Barry.
And Barry?
At the same
That's
time.
wild.
Bro, how chaotic was this house?
At the same time.
Wait, at the same time?
I'm sure that house was never locked.
Wow!
It was never locked.
It was never.
So you look like guys coming in, out all the time.
Like, do you know, I used to walk into my own house and I'm just like, who are you people?
Because all those people are very social. I can
Let me
imagine.
tell you something.
Insanity.
Do you know how crazy it was? I'm having a party. It's my birthday. So I'm, I'm still, I've come like from like lunch and drinks with some friends, and we're like, yo, let's go.
Let's take the party
Let's go
to
to
my
let's go
house.
to the house. It's not a party. It's just
chill
today.
out.
This time I've decided I don't want to do a party because last year was a mess. So I'm like, all right, let's just do lunch. Let's take it to the house. Continue
out.
drinking. Then I meet Barry in the house, and he's doing his own
Bash.
get together, right? And I'm like, nigga, I've got friends
birthday.
coming over. It's my birthday, so dibs on the house. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
My friend's already here.
I'm having a Saturday get together. So now he's having his own Saturday get together, but I'm having my party, which has turned now. There's a line. There's guys are queuing to use the bathroom
Oh my God.
in the corridor. There's too many people. We don't know what's happening. Yeah, we lived 4
How many
people.
bedrooms is this?
Four. Akina Sauti Soul moved in after us.
Oh, that's the house they stayed
Yeah,
in Kile. Bro, lakini you Barry Tele and you thought this is a good
Imagine.
idea.
And DNG.
And you guys, na DNG. Na mliona, this is a good idea.
I mean,
How did that even come to happen?
Yeah, how did even that come
That
about?
sounds like one of those bad decisions that
So
if
me-
you guys are game, I'm game.
No, me and Davey, DNG were housemates. No. When I was working at K24, I had a furnished apartment in Kilimani, but I was in USIU. And so all my peeps were in USIU, but I was working. So I had mad FOMO. Let me just be honest, right? Like I had FOMO 99% of the time because I have to work while guys are just like uni, right?
Yeah.
So what I'd do when I'd finish Jobo, I'd go
To SIU.
to USIU to be in Akina Barry's. Barry and DNG were housemates. So I'd go to stay at their house because I just wanted to feel like a campus, right? So my apartment was basically, I was just paying and I wasn't staying there. So eventually when Barry moved out, me and DNG moved in together. And then now when I was in Big Brother, he moved us to Kile. And then they found Tele. So
Where?
That's how we lived, yeah.
I can only imagine.
But we were
Me,
focused
I'd watch
people.
that Big Brother now.
Same, yeah, that's the one I want to watch.
We were
With cameras.
focused. We were focused. Actually, DNG came to Big Brother. Came to see me.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So this is DNG when he's backsliding. I'm a backsliding and Okoka. What stage of DNG?
That's another time he was the host
Just
on
a
Kiss
wow.
TV.
You know what? I'm just gonna say this, right? Like everybody backslides. We met with DNG when I was also saved. So that's how I ended up playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the basketball and PC.
Yeah.
Why did you skip this stage?
No, one day I just woke up. I was like done with this
done.
shit. Yeah, I'm done.
Because I'm like, so today DNG has a party in the house. Kesho akona pasta onaomba.
DNG, no. At that point he
He was
wasn't
hosting at Kiss TV.
That point he wasn't. He had not yet started there. But at that point he wasn't saved. Yeah.
Okay.
That looks like a chaotic household.
I know.
No,
Not in a bad way.
contrary to what you'd think, it wasn't always parties, right? I think, because it's people are working, people got things to do. DNG was working at
1FM.
1FM or Kiss, can't remember. Yeah, he was working on one of them at that time. Yeah.
Okay.
And then everybody was on their grind. So that's where we started the hustle. So you see, that household, everybody ended up doing events. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and all of you became
Some way,
successful
somehow.
in different ways. Yeah. Benie, I think that's how you pronounce it. If she'd do music, whether they'll keep having guests on the Boxpod. I've heard you sing before, and you are a really good singer at industry.
Wacha kwanza zale motif hapa amedecide sasa Abanton sasa ni yake.
Yeah. But then she like
I am
can sing for
recording
real.
an Abanton song. Wait for it.
Yeah.
For real.
But then why have you never recorded anything?
You see, we busy.
It's all in the book.
I've told you. There's an Abanton song coming.
That's not
Yes.
produced by
Yes.
not Motif.
If Stupid
And not
Boy,
Motif.
wacha niulize collabo.
the
Stupid Boy
wounds.
mazee, wacha na interview, nataka collabo. Then we can talk together about our song.
Yeah. Wow. So you still do the interview. So basically what you want is the interview. The song will get you the interview.
Can't you see I'm a fan of Stupid Boy?
No,
Like,
for
can't
sure.
you
Yeah,
see?
clearly.
Yeah.
Okay.
His stage name in Atoke Aviba every time, even when you're praising him.
Yeah. That's yeah. And also he wanted to know if you guys will keep having guests on the pod.
I mean, it depends.
This is after the Butchers one?
If the guests are not later vibes. Like our pod, when we set up the pod, it wasn't about guests. It was about it was just about three people hanging out, having a conversation about stuff that we see, right? And just our opinion. If we feel like there's a conversation that needs a guest, there will be a guest. But don't hold your breath not for a guest.
And if you
Bali
drop,
tu ni
and
sisi.
if you drop the episode, then
There's that part.
I mean, when you put it like that,
the real originator, when did she make her first million?
this question, hata nikijibu, itakusaidia aje?
Maybe tu anataka.
Motivation. Wewe
Hapana.
wacha maswali jibu.
Hiyo si motivation.
It is.
Let me tell you, it's not.
Anataka tu compare one kama
Do you know,
a contract.
me and DNG, I remember we had put up an email saying, like the first person to make $1 million by next year, And I think that year it was him who made. I was struggling. I was like using my money for industry night.
Yeah.
Feeding artists and shit. I have no regrets though. I do things that I care about. That person, what I'll answer them is, your millions are coming. If the only reason I don't talk about money publicly is because first it's rude. It's not good manners to talk about money.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Why?
It's just not.
Money is just money.
No. I feel like it's bad manners to talk about money. But number two, I'd say, to talk about the amount of money that you
Okay.
you get,
The
right?
amounts,
Yeah, like
sure.
figures and
Yeah,
stuff, yeah?
figures, yeah.
But this is what I'd say. That person is curious about how they can be successful, right? And I feel like if you focus on money, you're missing the point, right? The question you need to ask yourself is, whatever you're doing, is it worth $1 million?
Well answered.
So those are the things you need to be valuing yourself, that then the money will come. But if you're doing things that you hata unaangalia hiyo kitu unasema hii ni kitu yenye mtu anaweza, hii ni kitu which can make me, am I valuable, or do I have something valuable, or am I focusing on the money? Because once you have value, I promise you,
You'll
Money
never
will
lack
follow.
that.
you'll never lack. Yeah.
I like how you've answered that. Lastly, at Antozesco, what's her greatest fear? Do you have any fears?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I have fears.
Which ones?
One of my biggest fears is, not being aligned. I feel like we waste a lot of time chasing things that you're not supposed to. Looking at competition, right? Competition is good, but you could be competing with somebody who you're not supposed to be, right? So my biggest fear is just not being aligned, because time is so valuable, it's so precious. And I feel like sometimes we get caught up. Like, I feel like there's a point in my life there where I had put so much, I was creating so much time for fun and people, and who were adding zero value, and I wasn't doing the calculations real quick to remove them. And so when I calculate that time that I wasted with them, which I'll never get back, right? I look at that differently. So my fear is I'm always evaluating, like, is this really the best use of my time? I'd rather even use this time just sitting at home, recouping, building my body, than, yeah. So nowadays I'm very purposeful about how I spend my time.
Yeah. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Fuck, I thought I was going to be laughing and shit on this.
He told you
I didn't know that we were going to go so deep, man.
So, call out my ops.
Will you come back again?
No.
Don't check it.
Mi kwa nini breathe.
Lazima ugode.
No, for real though. Would you come back?
Yeah.
Story.
I
Just
guess
like
so.
now.
Stories. Sasa now you
Yeah.
will
Yeah. I mean, I like you guys. Yeah.
Actually, we can do the rest half of our next episode if you come on, because that's what we're recording when you walked in. Cool. Ernest, we cover just
another half with us.
Yeah, cool.
But thank you so much for Sheila, because you played such a big role in my life for industry night. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, because that's really where I properly networked with the industry.
That's true.
Yeah.
And also, I learned so much, especially in just managing things.
That makes me so happy.
Thank you for throwing. Yeah, like you will throw a deep end.
That's part of life. That's a learning curve. That's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and always appreciate you.
And I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I teach a lot of people, but there's nothing as disappointing as a teacher when you teach someone, and I know you can confess that there's so many people we'd invest so much time in at industry night, and I'd always, like, I'd tell you, are you going to be a musician kweli wewe? And someone would be like, Aki, for real, this is what I care about. And then now they're an accountant, right? And you've invested the time, the resources. So when you invest in someone and you see them,
You see it.
doing their thing, right? It makes me happy.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, enough of this gay shit.
Anyway, KWAMBOX episode 167.
Mic check.
Over 26.
This is
The
This is the Brunch Club.
Over 26.
Welcome back to
The mics are closed.
Now, when you watch it, you'll understand.